Can lay composite decking over an existing wooden deck, and we get a lot of requests to reskin a deck, is what we call it. But there's a lot of things you got to keep in mind when you do that. First, that substructure has got to be built in compliance with Composite's specifications. So the framing spacing has to be at least 16 inches on center. We like to have our composite decks 12 inches on center, just to keep a truer plane of the deck surface. The other big thing you gotta really keep in mind is when you start to alter a structure, if you alter more than 50% of that structure, or you touch the structure at all, most jurisdictions are going to require you to pull a permit. Well, code changes happen every 3 years, and they always add on, and they always become more restrictive. They don't ever loosen up. So very good chance that if that deck was built 15, 20 years ago, the footings, the piers may not be big enough. They may have not been placed correctly in the first place. The post spacing, the beam sizes, the joist, the overall framing of that deck, and the attachment to the house may have not been in compliance. So those things, you may not be able to just reskin a deck and be code compliant. So those things all need to be looked at before that's approached. Yes, if you're going to reskin a deck and you're going to pull off the wood decking and put down a composite board, very, very rarely are the joist spacings on a wood deck going to be 12 inches on center, which is what we recommend just to reduce the reverberation in the deck and to give you a true solid surface. The more rigid the composite board, the better the board to use to reskin a deck. And the best one, in my opinion, is going to be Decorator's Evovations technology. It's just a very strong, rigid board. If you go with something softer or less structural, you're likely going to have some ponding issues, some undulations in the deck, some more bounce in the deck, because those joists are probably spaced 16 inches on center, and a lot of times 24 inches on center, because that's all that wood requires. So if you want to go with a less structural board, it's my recommendation that you go back and you add joists in between the existing ones, or do whatever's necessary to get that to be as if you were building it from scratch. Yeah, you could definitely run into some issues where that deck was not built in compliance at its origination, or definitely not built in compliance with today's codes. The biggest thing you can run into if you start to reskin a deck is now you're talking about putting a composite board or a PVC board that's got a 25 to 50 year warranty on a structure that has an unknown shelf life. It could rot out in 5 years, 10 years, and then you're putting a railing system on it that's got probably a lifetime warranty. So the crux of your money is going to be in that decking and that railing system. The wood structure that's, you don't necessarily know how old it is, and you definitely don't know how long it's going to last, and it doesn't have a warranty on it, could fail at any point, no matter how good you may think it is now. There's no real way to tell, when that was produced, what grade of treatment it is, whether it's ground contact rated, whether that process was done correctly. We've seen pressure treated lumber have some defects and rot out in just 8 to 10 years brand new. So if you reskin a deck, in my opinion, you're taking a pretty big risk, because if that understructure fails at any point before you're getting your dollars out of your composite and your railing system, you are starting from scratch. Not only are you starting from scratch, but you've just paid to reskin a deck, then you're going to pay to take down that deck, and then you're going to pay to build a brand new deck.